Every day, millions of people wake up with the same invisible weight on their chest. Worry. Worry about money. Worry about the future. Worry about what people think. Worry about mistakes from yesterday. And worry about problems that haven't even happened yet. Your mind becomes a battlefield before the day even begins. You check your phone. Bad news, bills, messages, expectations, and suddenly your peace disappears. But here is a truth that most people never discover. Life does not become easier when your problems disappear. Life becomes easier when your mind stops fighting reality. For over 2,000 years, Stoic philosophers studied one powerful question: how can a human being remain calm, strong, and focused, even in chaos? One of them was the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He ruled an empire during wars, plagues, betrayal, and political instability. Yet he wrote something remarkable. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That single sentence contains a secret that most people today still don't understand. Because the modern world teaches the opposite. It teaches you to control everything. Your reputation, your outcomes, your future, your success, your relationships. But the more control you chase, the more anxious you become. The Stoics discovered something radically different. Your life begins to work out the moment you stop worrying about what you cannot control. Not because problems disappear, but because you become stronger than them. Today, we will explore 7 Stoic truths that will transform how you experience life in 2026. These are not motivational cliches. They are mental frameworks used by warriors, philosophers, leaders, and thinkers for centuries. When you understand them, stress loses its grip on you, fear loses its power, and life begins to unfold in ways you never expected. So take a deep breath, slow down your mind, and listen carefully. Because the first truth might completely change how you see your problems. The problem: modern chaos, stress, and emotional weakness. We live in the most connected era in human history. Yet anxiety has never been higher. People today are overwhelmed not because life is harder, but because the mind is constantly stimulated. Notifications, news, comparison, pressure to succeed quickly. You see everyone's highlight reel while secretly fighting your own battles. And slowly, worry becomes a habit. You worry about things that may never happen. You worry about people who are not even thinking about you. You worry about outcomes that are outside your control. The Stoics would call this wasted mental energy. Another Stoic teacher, Epictetus, taught something brutally simple. Some things are up to us, some things are not. Yet most people spend their entire lives focusing on the second category. What others think, what the economy does, what luck brings, what the future holds. And that is why they feel powerless. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions. It is about training the mind to focus only on what truly matters. The 7 truths you're about to learn will help you do exactly that. Let's begin with the first one. Stoic truth number 1. Most worries never happen. Your mind is incredibly creative. But unfortunately, it is often creative in the worst possible direction. The human brain evolved to detect danger. Thousands of years ago, this helped us survive predators. Today, it creates something else. Imaginary problems. You imagine failure. You imagine embarrassment. You imagine rejection. You imagine disaster. And your body reacts as if those events are already real. The Stoic philosopher Seneca warned about this exact problem. He wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many sleepless nights were caused by things that never happened? How many hours of stress were spent worrying about outcomes that turned out fine? Your mind builds a prison out of imaginary fears. Modern example: imagine someone waiting for a message after a job interview. Minutes turn into hours. Their mind starts creating stories. Maybe they hated my answers. Maybe I sounded stupid. Maybe they already hired someone else. By the time the email arrives, their anxiety has already exhausted them. And the message simply says, "Congratulations. You're hired." The suffering was never necessary. Psychological insight: psychologists call this catastrophic thinking. Your brain predicts the worst possible outcome, not because it's accurate, but because the brain prefers certainty over uncertainty. Stoicism teaches you to interrupt this process. Practical daily exercise: every time you catch yourself worrying, ask one simple question: is this happening right now? If the answer is no, your only responsibility is to return to the present moment. Because the present moment is almost always manageable, not imaginary, real. And when you master this, you reclaim enormous mental energy. Stoic truth number 2. Control is an illusion. Most anxiety comes from one hidden belief. If I just try harder, I can control everything. But life doesn't work that way. You can control effort. You cannot control outcomes. You can control discipline. You cannot control luck. You can control your actions. You cannot control how others respond. Yet many people measure their self-worth by results. And that creates constant emotional instability. Stoic wisdom: Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of this distinction. As emperor, he made countless decisions. Some worked, some failed, but he focused on something deeper: the quality of his character, not the unpredictability of results. Modern example: think of an entrepreneur starting a business. They spend months planning, designing, marketing, working late nights, but the market may still respond unpredictably. A Stoic mindset focuses on what is controllable: effort, learning, adaptation, integrity. Success becomes a byproduct, not an obsession. Psychological insight: people who focus on controllable actions experience lower stress and higher resilience. Because their sense of identity is stable. It doesn't collapse every time life changes direction. Practical daily exercise: every morning write 2 lists. Things I control: my effort, my attitude, my discipline, my reactions. Things I don't control: other people's opinions, unexpected problems, timing, luck. Then commit to investing your energy only in the first list. This one habit alone can eliminate half your stress. Stoic truth number 3. Obstacles are opportunities. Most people see problems as interruptions. Stoics see them as training. Marcus Aurelius wrote something powerful: the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Meaning, the very thing blocking you is often the thing strengthening you. Modern example: someone loses their job unexpectedly. At first, it feels like failure. But that moment forces them to develop new skills, explore new opportunities, start a business, or pursue a career they always wanted. Years later they realize, the obstacle was the turning point. Psychological insight: this is called cognitive reframing. The ability to reinterpret negative events as growth opportunities. Resilient people naturally do this. And Stoicism deliberately trains this mindset. Practical exercise: whenever something difficult happens, ask, what strength is this situation trying to develop in me? Patience, courage, discipline, adaptability. Life becomes a training ground, not a punishment. Stoic truth number 4. Your peace is more valuable than your ego. Many conflicts are not about truth. They're about ego arguments online, workplace drama, family misunderstandings, everyone trying to prove they're right. But Stoicism asks a deeper question. Is being right worth losing your peace? Example: someone criticizes you unfairly. Your instinct may be to defend yourself immediately, but often the wiser response is silence. Because not every opinion deserves your energy. Stoic wisdom. Epictetus said, if someone speaks badly of you, live so that no one believes it. In other words, your actions will eventually reveal the truth. Psychological insight. Responding emotionally gives power to others. Responding calmly preserves your inner stability. Daily exercise. The next time someone provokes you, pause. Take one breath. Ask yourself, will this matter in 1 year? Most of the time the answer is no. And you can walk away with your peace intact. Stoic truth number 5. Time is your most precious resource. Seneca wrote an entire book about time. And his warning still applies today. Most people believe they have plenty of time, so they waste it scrolling, complaining, procrastinating, comparing themselves to others. But life is finite. And realizing this changes everything. Modern example: two people both want to improve their lives. One waits for motivation, the other takes small daily actions. 1 year later, the difference is massive. Not because of talent, but because of time invested wisely. Psychological insight. Humans underestimate the power of consistent small actions. Daily habits compound into extraordinary results. Practical exercise. Every evening ask yourself one question. Did I use today intentionally? If not, adjust tomorrow. Life improves through small corrections repeated daily. Stoic truth number 6. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your external circumstances influence you, but your interpretation influences you even more. Two people can face the same situation and experience it completely differently. Stoic perspective. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Meaning, your internal dialogue determines your emotional world. Modern example: imagine two employees receiving critical feedback. One thinks, I'm a failure. The other thinks, this is useful information to improve. Same event, different mindset, different future. Psychological insight. Your brain strengthens the thoughts you repeat most often, which means mental habits become emotional patterns. Stoicism trains better mental habits. Practical exercise for 1 week. Observe your thoughts. Every time you catch negative self-talk, replace it with a constructive version. Not fake positivity, but rational perspective. Stoic truth number 7. Life works out when you let go. The final Stoic truth may be the most powerful. Life becomes lighter when you stop resisting reality. Many people suffer because they constantly fight what already happened. They replay mistakes, regret decisions, or wish things were different. But reality cannot be negotiated with. It can only be accepted. And once accepted, you regain your power to act. Stoic wisdom. Epictetus said, do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do. This does not mean passivity. It means aligning with reality instead of resisting it. Modern example: a person experiences a major setback. They can spend years angry. Or they can ask, what is the next step forward? The second choice creates momentum. Practical exercise: every night reflect on the day and say, I accept what happened. Tomorrow I improve. Acceptance removes emotional resistance, and progress becomes possible again. Mid-video retention reminder: if you've made it this far, it means something inside you is searching for a calmer, stronger way to live. And here is something important. Most people will hear these truths and forget them tomorrow, but a small percentage will actually apply them. Those people change their lives. So if even one of these Stoic lessons resonates with you, stay with this video until the end. Because the final message may be the one that shifts how you see every challenge ahead. Powerful conclusion: life will never become perfectly predictable. There will always be uncertainty, unexpected problems, moments of doubt. But Stoicism teaches something incredibly liberating. You do not need to control everything to live well. You only need to master your mind. When you stop worrying about imaginary futures, when you focus on actions within your control, when you transform obstacles into training, when you protect your peace, when you use your time intentionally, when you guide your thoughts carefully, and when you accept reality with courage, something remarkable happens. Life begins to work out. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. The Stoics understood that true power is internal, unshakable, quiet, disciplined, and once you develop it, no external chaos can take it away. So if this message helped you today, take one Stoic principle from this video and practice it for the next 7 days. You may be surprised how quickly your perspective begins to shift, and if you're committed to building a stronger mind. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because here, we explore the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, and how it can help you become calm, focused, and mentally unstoppable in the modern world. Until the next video, stay strong, stay disciplined, and remember, the greatest victory is mastery of yourself.